For the first 40 years of my life, I saw the worst in humanity. Oppression, slavery, human trafficking, war, hate. My name is Tu Lam, and I am Ronin. I was born on a cold cement floor in the basement of Saigon Hospital. We lived underneath communist occupation. North Vietnamese forcibly ripped apart our homes. Anybody who resists were immediately pulled out into the streets, executed. Beating us, breaking us. My mother decided that we needed to escape Vietnam. We boarded a wooden fishing boat. We were trying to get over 100 people out on this boat. We drifted for nearly 30 days. People were dying. Bodies were getting thrown overboard. A Russian supply boat, they saved us, and they took us into Indonesia, where we lived in refugee camps for a year and a half. And finally, we came to America, where we settled in Fayetteville, North Carolina, where we lived with my uncle. It was a very hard time. My father and mother, they got divorced. And then eventually my mother remarried to American Special Forces Green Beret. Kind man. You know, he took us in. As a child, I grew up reading Sanju and the Book of Five Rings, Hakikura. I was a student of Bushido. Bushido is a way of life. It's a blueprint. Bushido. Bu means to intercept the spirit, to stop evil. She is the one who's strong enough to walk the path of a warrior, and Do is to take one's life lesson and to give back for the sake of humanity. I realized at a young age that the Special Forces, that was the modern day Bushido. It was my ticket to go back in these countries and to fight for the enslaved and to fight for the oppressed. So my military career began back in '93 with the 82nd Airborne Division at Fort Bragg, North Carolina. And I went to Ranger School and graduated. So that put me in a fast track. I applied for the Special Forces when I was 21 years old. I tried out for a special missions unit. I was hired on in selections and training as the combatives instructor for the unit. And I tried out for the low-vis reconnaissance section. It gets very secretive, but I can tell you I deployed in combat zones and out of combat zones, hunting down some of the world's most wanted men. We did work with the CIA, finding, fixing, finishing, high-value terrorist individuals around the world. I did 7 years running at that pace. I got caught in an ID in '05. I had spine injuries. During that time, the treatment was to give us painkillers. But I kept on pushing on with a commando career. And I went to 10th Special Forces Group, where I helped stand up crisis response force for the continent of Africa. Counter-terrorist missions in Libya, counter-poaching wars in northern Cameroon. I was at 20 years, 15 years of war. I was at 27 countries. I had a lot of injuries. I was that guy who had a pill in his coin pocket. I was addicted to drugs, and I retired. Honorably, I retired out 23 years. During my darkest hour, when I was so ashamed of who I am and the teachings of Bushido, I called myself a Ronin, masterless, a wanderer. I had to change my discipline. And the Bushido code was what allowed me to heal myself when I was lost. I took all my medication, I dumped it down the toilet. I had to retrain my mind. If I can execute my day with focus and discipline, I become kind. So I wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning. As the sun comes up, I show gratitude to God and the day, and I'm grateful for life. And then I go and I work out. Physical fitness is a part of being a warrior. And through the ways of a warrior, through the way of a gun, a knife, a blade, it's through my spirit. I travel around America with my wife, and I teach the art of Budo, Bushido. I have trained armies. I have stood up commando forces all around the world. I can give this skill set to communities to help protect themselves, to take my life lessons and to give back for the sake of humanity, to seek peace in myself and calmness in the mind, to live and die for something meaningful. And that's the way of a warrior.